Okay, good morning. It is May 10th. It's going to be our test day. I realize that this is actually a picture on my desk, but that's because I want to go through a couple things, and so I'm not using selfie mode today, but I thought I would still start with a picture of myself to kind of get you guys in the right mindset. So first thing, planning and investigation. I know we've been through these a bunch of times. You should be getting back your formative copy of these. They were all over the board. Some of them were very good, some of them were very bad. A reminder of what the grading looks like on this. Your question was worth 1 point. Your hypothesis was 1 for here and 1 for here. So this was 2 points. And I'll review what this looks like on the test as well. Setups, key part that you needed to have. Include arrows to show the forces acting on the object. You had to actually say what those forces were. So like I saw sometimes where like a person put an arrow like this and just said force. We talked about how there's not force. This isn't Star Wars. You gotta actually say gravity, friction, normal force, whatever might be going on. This portion on the formative one was 3 points. And then the bottom portion, independent variable, the one variable you will change. So our question was about the cars going down the smooth and the bumpy surface. So this was surface. That was what you would change. How would you change it? Smooth and bumpy. And that was 3 points. Okay, dependent variable, one variable you'll observe or measure. You're looking at distance traveled. And this is tricky to read in highlighter, but that's how I was grading them. So tool you use to measure it. Meter stick. I accepted ruler. Unit should be centimeters. I accepted inches. I did accept if you put like feet or inches, but I don't want you to put an or, like a centimeters or inches, that kind of thing. I don't want an or. Controlled variable. Here is the big thing about the controlled variable. It is not the distance traveled. It is not the type of surface, including anything underneath there. So it's not the meter stick. It's not the smooth versus bumpy. These are all part of the dependent and independent variables. Controlled variable is not one of those. Not the IV or DV. Okay, so we got that right there in the margin. So things that it could have been. The car, because we use the same car for both of these. Obviously, your lab is going to be a little bit different today for the test. So we'll take a look at what the test looks like in just a second. It could have been the car. It could have been the ramp height. I accepted gravity, because we talked about that in class a little bit. It could have been the person dropping. Sorry, I'll get that back on track in a minute. The person dropping. This was worth 3 points as well. It will be worth 3 on the test again, but it was possible to get a couple bonus points there. Also possible to get a couple bonus points here on the formative, just on the formative. And so this was 15 total points. And your test will be similar. So we're going to take a look at the test next. Actually, although this is the intro video where we go through this, I'm going to hand these back, take any questions you might have on these, and then I'm going to have a separate vlog that we're going to take a look at for the actual test for today, just to make sure that you're understanding the directions on there and covering all of the details that you need for that. Thanks so much.